Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joseph Hewes. Thanks for watching. I've got another book review to do. All right, now this is Murder in Brentwood, written by Mark Fuhrman. Okay, now many of you may recall Mark Fuhrman was a very controversial figure in the O.J. Simpson trial. He was the Los Angeles detective that the defense painted as the racist cop who planted evidence and framed O.J. Simpson. And Mark Fuhrman has actually rehabilitated his reputation over the last 25 years. And I was watching some O.J. Simpson trial stuff, and I thought, you know, I think I should read his book, find out what his point of view was and is on this trial. Okay, now it's a very highly reviewed book, New York Times bestseller. Amazon.com rates it at 4.5 stars. And there are hundreds of reviews, so it's not a very small sampling, it's a rather large sampling, so very highly rated book. I read the book as well, so I'll tell you what I think about it. Okay, now of course it covers everything you can imagine in the O.J. Simpson trial. The evidence, it covers the prosecution, the defense, it covers Mark Fuhrman's role in it. Okay, now as far as the evidence is concerned, he shows very in minute detail how the evidence overwhelmingly supports a conviction of O.J. Simpson. As far as the prosecution is concerned, he shows you all the flaws and all the mistakes that they made. The defense, of course, the despicable behavior by the defense in using the race card and using that instead of attacking the actual evidence or coming up with other evidence. I'll give you an example here. Okay, now, of course, very famous is his cross-examination by F. Lee Bailey, the famous defense attorney, and he's going to relate something here that F. Lee Bailey, during the F. Lee Bailey questioning. And I'm going to read it for you. He accuses me, he being F. Lee Bailey, of wiping the bloody glove found at Rockingham in the Bronco to account for the blood inside. Did Bailey even realize that what he claimed was impossible? The bloody glove contained blood from both victims and Simpson, so how could I wipe the glove on the driver's side carpet in the Bronco and leave evidence of only Ron and Nicole's blood? Okay, it's stuff like that in the book. Obviously it's impossible for him to have done that, and the defense claims of him wiping the bloody glove inside the Bronco was just absurd, absolutely absurd. So he discusses the so-called Mark Fuhrman tapes and how those tapes were basically, he was working on a screenplay with a Hollywood screenwriter, trying to sell a story, a crime story. The interviews he gave on tape were mock interviews. They weren't interviews of him personally. They weren't biographical. They were fictitious, of a fictitious character in a fictitious screenplay. So he also talks about why he pled the Fifth Amendment and why Marcia Clark, the lead prosecutor in that case, forced him to take the Fifth Amendment. I'll let you read the book so you can learn why Marcia Clark forced Mark Fuhrman to take the Fifth Amendment. It's a great book. I feel actually very well informed on the O.J. Simpson case. It's very easy to say that, well, you know, it was a case where the jury just wasn't going to convict O.J. Simpson. Well, that's an easy out. Read this book and you'll know a lot more specifically what went wrong and what came down in this trial. So I recommend the book highly. Mark Fuhrman, Murder in Brentwood. Joseph Hewes, signing out.